Maeve's path took her to the village of Iconfurt. Unlike most settlements in the area, not a single human dwelled here. Instead, only elves and dwarves sat on its porches and stared at the passing Lyrians with clear aversion. Not a single greeting was extended to their allies in arms. Not a single peddler tried to hawk their wares. The only sound was that of snapping shutters and slamming doors.
Something's amiss,
Rayla said, furrowing her brow.
Order a halt, my lady, and give me a moment to look around.
There are skeletons in the cellars of every village.
Maeve replied calmly, pretending to ignore Rayla's angry glare.
I doubt this is an exception, but I feel no need to exhume them. We march on.
Driven by curiosity, the Queen returned to Iconfurt. Black Rayla implored her to call for a halt so they could search the village.
You've a quarter of an hour.
Maeve said as she dismounted.
And not a moment more.
The Queen sat in the shade of a large pear tree. She shut her eyes and listened to the chirping of crickets in the grass, savoring a rare moment of relaxation. But the calm did not last. Within moments, one of her scouts returned, a certain Sergeant Niedermere. Tears streamed down his weathered, scar-pocked face.
Lady, come with us, please. You'll need to see this for yourself.
The sergeant led her to the still smouldering remains of a mill. Her soldiers were picking things out from the ashes. When she got closer, she realized in horror they were human skulls, some no larger than apples.
Tell the villagers to gather by the well.
The Queen said in a strained voice.
Or be executed.
The elves and dwarves attempted no denials. They admitted Eldane and his Scoia'tael had helped them round up all the humans in their village, march them into the mill, then set it aflame.
They stole our lands, defiled our names, beat us, murdered us in bloodthirsty pogroms,
shouted one of the dwarves.
They had it coming to them. Got their comeuppance, I'd say.
Maeve was no stranger to the cruelty of war, but the enormous evil she found in Iconfurt overwhelmed her. She felt a terrible weight on her chest, found it hard to draw breath, and her head spun. She felt she could hear the cries of humans being burned alive.
Ma'am,
whispered Reynard.
You must pronounce something.
Or simply turn the matter over to me, Your Grace.
Rayla interrupted.
I know what to do.
You know what you deserve,
Maeve said.
But my soldiers are neither murderers nor executioners, and you are not my subjects. So I shall have you escorted to Rosberg. Let the authorities there mete out justice. With a noose, I hope.
The Queen chose a dozen soldiers and tasked them with seeing the non-humans of Iconfurt tried by an Edirnian judge. In doing so, she weakened her forces, but saved herself and her Lyrians from having to carry out a bloody sentence by their own hand.
Do as you see fit.
Maeve said quietly, gaze fixed on the ground. The Queen snapped her reins and rode out of the village. She did not want to witness the bloody massacre of non-humans her soldiers were about to perpetrate. What she had seen at the mill already sufficed to keep her awake for many nights to come.
What was that?
Maeve asked Reynard, who rode beside her.
A scream. A man's, I think.
Need to investigate. Gather a few men and we ride. Quickly!
The screaming came from a small settlement. When Meve rode up to its farmhouses, her horse reared and neighed in terror. Necrophages swarmed all around. The monsters surrounded a few Nilfgaardians who were trying, with no success, to chase them off with torches. Reynard swept his gaze over the carnage and said,
They cannot stave them off, and their armor is too heavy for them to flee.
Meve squinted and smiled cruelly.
Soldiers, we behold a battle. On one side fight bloodthirsty, mindless beasts who live to kill, and on the other, ghouls. To my mind, they deserve one another. Fall back.
The Queen tugged her reins and turned her horse. Soon thereafter, the woods rang with Lyrian laughter, mixed with cries of terror from the Nilfgaardians as they were dismembered alive. Meve squinted and smiled cruelly.
Soldiers, we behold a battle. On one side fight bloodthirsty, mindless beasts who live to kill, and on the other, ghouls. To my mind, they deserve one another. Fall back.
The Queen tugged the reins and turned her mount, ready to leave the village, when Aik stepped into her path.
"'Tis ignoble!
The knight cried.
No matter the crest they bear, men they are still. And I, Aik of Dinel, shall race to their succor, even if I must pitch battle alone."
Without awaiting the Queen's response, Aik lowered his lance, spurred his mount, and charged at the beasts.
Since Aik sees no difference between a Nilfgaardian and a Northerner,
Meve said.
"'Tis good he has left our ranks. We return to the others."
Shocked by the Queen's decision, the soldiers stood motionless for a time, looking from her to the Nilfgaardians fending off the vicious horde. In the end, they followed the Queen's order and started back, though from time to time they would glance over their shoulders. As for Aik, he was never heard from again.
Blast it all.
Meve swore, drawing her sword.
Suppose we can't just leave that fool to the ghouls. Follow me! To battle!
Without delay, the Lyrians rushed to rescue Aik and the Nilfgaardians. Meve was uncertain at first how to act. But when she saw ghouls snatch one of the Nilfgaardians and rip him to shreds, she drew her sword.
No one deserves such a death. Not even a Nilfgaardian. Follow me! Lower your weapons! We're here to rescue you!
This evil I shall trample out, root and branch!
Watch your heads!
Why do you help us?
Catch!
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Let the ghouls eat him, I say.
Silence! The Queen has made her decision.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Us or them. No other way.
My pain serves a purpose.
Nothing personal, I assure you.
Company! Forward march!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Prepare to fight, if you've any honor.
Eh? Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
I fear not, for faith guides me.
It worked, Your Grace. The monsters flee.
The Lyrians and the Nilfgaardians fought the monsters side by side, a united force. But when the last necrophage fell, the soldiers immediately returned to their respective divisions. Neve's soldiers looked at the invaders askance, uncertain what would happen next. Suddenly, one of the Nilfgaardians broke ranks and fell to his knees.
Your Grace, I know you have no reason to trust us, but we are not enemies.
We hail from Geso, a land Nilfgaard conquered and made its province. We did not ask to fight in this war by force. We were conscripted.
The soldier hefted his sword by the blade and handed it, hilt first, to the queen.
We yearned for a way to desert, and we have found it. Your Grace, allow us to join your army. We long for the Empire's defeat every bit as much as you do.
Meve walked up to the kneeling soldier and took the sword from his hand.
Well worn. Tell me, how did it receive this chip? Chopping wood? Carving a roast?
The soldier gave no reply, but merely dropped his gaze. That was enough to convince the queen his conscience was not clean.
Leave this place. And should I ever come across you again, do not count on my mercy.
The deserters took their things and disappeared silently into the trees. Meve turned to the rest of her soldiers. She could tell they were pleased with her decision. Meve helped the kneeling soldier to his feet.
The enemy of Nilfgaard is my friend, no matter who he is or whence he hail.
The Lyrians were clearly displeased with their queen's decision. The black-clad deserters from Geso would need to earn their trust.
I smell a leak. You mad? Don't shake that!
Onward, Fryhead!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Do
will see who is weak.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
I shall not fail!
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away. Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Fine! If my coin's rank to ye, go kiss a dog neath its tail.
Death to Old One!
Also them! No other way!
Death awaits us all.
Our ballista, your command. Armor won't say.
Oh, Lady Margarita told us of this.
One bolt all I need. Give me a target. Arbalist at your command. Armor won't save.
Duambe camest.
Catch!
Show me the coin or sod off.
I smell a leak.
May your sword and arm be one.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Now we will see who is weak!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
I shall not fail! None shall tread on us!
Hey?
Have strength, my love.
I'll fight to my last breath.
As ordered.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Discipline shall bring us victory!
The unworthy shall be punished.
Wait, you're serious?
Go, hop, hop!
If anyone asks, you've not seen me.
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
For Demavend! Ah! Brian!
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
Huntsman's away from hearth and home. Watch out for the acromantula. Mighty fine pumpkin harvest this year.
On the edge of the Moulderwood there stood a small village, Crumhorn. The hamlet was surrounded by a high palisade, while the villagers carried makeshift weapons, flails, axes, and nail-studded planks. Life as the Scoia'tael's neighbors was clearly not easy. While her men rested, Meve approached two of the villagers. They lowered their heads in respect and fidgeted nervously with their shirt hems.
My lady, reckon you ought to know. Elves meeting traders in the woods at night. Buy swords, herbs.
Rayla, who had overheard the conversation, twisted her mouth in a hateful scowl.
Hawkers stink worse than vermin. Willing to help murderers for coin. Please, milady, we must find them and punish them. You, talk. Where do these meetings take place?
The peasants looked at each other. One scratched his head, the other toed the sand. Finally, one of them blurted out,
Could tell you, my lady, yes, but only for gold.
I'm merely passing through.
Meve said with a shrug.
The moment I leave these woods, the Scoia'tael cease to be my problem. But you shall stay with them.
The peasants looked at each other, confused. One of them opened his mouth as if to say something, but the queen paid no more heed. Her soldiers began marching off, leaving Crumhorn far behind.
I do not look kindly on extortion,
Meve replied, drawing her sword. The blade glistened in the sun, casting a bright light on the peasants' terrified faces.
I'm willing to forget this offense. If you tell me all you know, now.
Them orcas wheeled them goods to the old fishing hut north a year. Scoia'tael come a-crawling from the woods, the first crow of the cockerel.
The queen told her men to prepare to fight the Scoia'tael and their abettors. Black Rayla sat on a fallen trunk and sharpened her sword. The grinding of stone on blade sounded a grim promise.
I see I'm dealing with shrewd men of trade. Fine. Your fee.
Meve took a few coins from her pouch and tossed them on the ground. The peasants dropped on all fours and started snatching the coins from the grass, ignoring the contemptuous gaze of the queen's soldiers.
Them orcas wheeled them goods to the old fishing hut north a year. Scoia'tael come a-crawling from the woods, the first crow of the cockerel.
The queen told her men to prepare to fight the Scoia'tael and their abettors. Black Rayla sat on a fallen trunk and sharpened her sword. The grinding of stone on blade sounded a grim promise.
I told you you'd do better not to haggle with her, that she'd eat you.
Meve arrived at the hut the villagers claimed to be the meeting point for the Scoia'tael and the Hawkers. Torchlight flickered amidst the trees, and she heard the sound of hushed voices.
Your Grace,
Whispered Rayla.
they're in our grasp. We must act quickly before the elves retreat into the woods.
Quite a lot of them.
The queen said, her brow furrowed.
We'd best fall back. Reynard, retreat.
Your Grace, we can't simply...
We can.
Meve said, cutting Rayla off.
My aim is not to pacify elven rebels, but to cross these woods and reach Aldersburg. We must match our actions to our intentions.
Rayla said nothing. She didn't have to. Her face was an open tome, writ large with frustration and anger.
Worry not, Rayla.
The queen said, patting her on the back.
I shan't let a chance like this slip. Attack!
The Lyrians rushed out of the woods at the unsuspecting elves and merchants. Moments later, the sound of combat filled the dark wood.
Sucker scum!
Got business for me?
Watch your heads!
Special price, just for you, love.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
May your sword and arm be one.
Defenvara!
As ordered. Catch!
Hey?
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
I shall not fail!
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
None shall tread on us!
Everything all right?
Oh my.
Getting to work.
Nothing personal, I assure you.
The unworthy shall be punished.
Oh, my little lady.
One.
There's but one penalty for trading with elves.
Meve pulled off a rare trick. She laid a trap for the Scoia'tael in their own woods. The surrounded elves fought to the bitter end, choosing death over human captivity. Meve cracked open the hawkers' chests and stared at a mass of tangled oakum. Perplexed, she dug deeper and found the real goods hidden underneath. Bolts with entrail-pureeing hooks, leg-snapping bear traps, and incurable poisons.
Instruments of cruelty,
said Reynard, looking over the chest's contents.
Designed to deliver maximum pain and a prolonged death.
'Tis shameful to fight with such things.
The usually quiet Ache blurted out. Gascon did not share in the general gloom. He reached for one of the arrows and balanced it in his hand with curiosity.
A corpse is a corpse. It cares not how it became one. And these marvels, oh, my lads could do fine things with them.
My crown I have lost, but my honor remains.
Meve said, grabbing the arrow from Gascon.
I will not allow soldiers under my command to fight with this. Reynard, have these chests thrown in the lake.
In sinking the hawkers' weapons, Meve sent a clear signal that her honor would not tarnish even at the darkest hour. News of the massacre echoed through all of Aedirn, cooling the desire of anyone tempted to profit by selling death to elven terrorists.
The ends justify the means,
Meve said curtly as she grabbed a weapon from one of the chests. Her soldiers followed suit and equipped themselves with hawker arms. Soon enough, the elves would feel the pain they'd hoped to inflict on others.
Catch!
Nay, Dwanve came est.
I smell a leak.
Cadmel and shit.
If anyone asks, you've not seen me.
My pain serves a purpose.
Ryan!
Enough chit-chat. Draw your weapon.
You're there!
We must trust each other.
The unworthy shall be punished.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target. Thing about slings, they hide well.
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
Eh?
You'll regret your mum ever squirted you out.
Death to Old One!
Meve was discussing some matter with Gascon when a scout approached. His blood-streaked uniform revealed the matter to be urgent, so the Queen cut short her conversation and requested a report.
We were scouting, milady, and we found a cave entrance. Small scattering of elves guarding it, but we took them right out.
Gascon scratched his chin.
I'd wager 10 Novigrad crowns there are more Scoia'tael squirreled away inside. We strike afore they know we've snuffed out their guards. We might well catch them by surprise. But we must act quickly.
Meave considered this, then asked the scout how many entrances the cave had.
We've only seen the one, milady,
the soldier replied.
As I thought. The perfect site for a trap. The elves could easily cut off our escape route. It's too risky. March on. Then let us act. Gather some men and prepare them for an attack. But keep quiet.
The Lyrians crept into the cave. They moved carefully, noiselessly even, avoiding notice for quite a while. Nevertheless, elven warriors soon came pouring out of a side cavern.